The African dream is beautiful. It's not black and white. I mean, just look around you this evening. This is colorful. But now is the time for us to walk the talk. The new African in the world. So let me ask you a question. Why did we give the colonial rulers the marching orders? Is it just so we can have school children march in circles in the same space? Is it just so we can have security officers to march in circles in the same space? Because we've been marching for 60 good years. 60 solid years. But the torch is not being borne aloft. The torch is not being bent. We've been sticking to the same old things for the last few decades. As we watch Singapore fade away into the distance, all we could sing is Ghana is poor. It's time to blend our culture with the changing times. It's time to tread it in. Actions without thoughts is empty. And thoughts without action is blind. Sometimes we are just sitting on the fence as we watch life pass by. But the time has come for us to align our actions with our thoughts. Citizens, not spectators. For the spectacle is an eyesore. My eyes have grown sore. Have your eyes not grown sore? We hold the key to make our nation great and strong. And in humility, as we cherish one another in honest living, we can mind our business and mind the gold in our minds and coast away in real celebration. We've been marching for 60 good years. We're supposed to be influencing our world. But sleep overtook us on the journey. And our rich culture is not enriching the world. We are supposed to be celebrating diversity, leading into prosperity. But here we are, we still live with poverty, even though we have property. Exploitations we are familiar with. But exploring the African within, we have been frustrated by. The character to manage our own destiny, we need to develop. Mastering our hands and beautifully knitting together the fine pieces of our dreams and crafting it into a tailor-made outfit to express our outlook. The rest of the world looking for the new African. The African dreams big too, you know. Maybe even bigger. Not that the white man always thinks better, but our thoughts get lost in translation on the journey from the mind on its way into daily behavior. Appearances will leave behind impressions, but looks can breed deception. What we got to go through may be painstaking, but what is at stake is ripe for the taking. We got to do better. We got to blaze the trail. The mental slavery is real, and our brains have been wired to serve. But our brains have not been wired to serve Mama Africa. Our brains have not been wired to serve Mother Ghana. But our brains have been wired to serve the greed. Our brains have been wired to serve envy. Our brains have been wired to serve selfishness. And our brains have been wired to serve hopelessness. We feed the Made in Ghana agenda to the dogs. We feed the Made in Africa agenda to the dogs. Our leaders cannot find a furniture manufacturer who can fix the legislative arms infrastructure. They tell us to buy Made in Ghana. They tell us to buy Made in Africa. But the law which Agowu and Bogas needs for quality fittings is in the eyes of our parliamentarians. They go behind our backs and buy from China. Nah. The African dream is beautiful. Now is the time for us to live it colorfully. This is not black and white. It's beautiful. The revolution to complete our evolution is in our volition. Homeland. Thank you.